What's up guys, I want to go over the crouch defense in badminton. This is when instead of usually defending with your racket by your side, you crouch down and get low into a squat position with your racket up. This is usually done in doubles and mixed doubles, and is something you see a lot in professional badminton. In this video I'll be talking about what are the advantages of doing this and when you should actually try to perform this shot. An advantage of crouching down to defend is that you can drive the shot back because you are hitting it overhead and in front of you, compared to a normal defense where you are taking the shuttlecock lower and hitting upwards. This means you can switch your defense back into attack and force the pressure back on your opponents. It could even be a winning shot if you are able to drive the shot back cross-court past the front court player. One of the reasons why it allows you to get back onto the attack is because once you have played the crouch defense, you can move in if the timing is right to put pressure onto the net. You can also, instead of driving the shot back, just block it to the net or push it to the side, which can be a great shot to once again allow you and your partner to get back onto the attack. Another advantage is that if your opponent does a flat smash to your body, it will be much easier to do the crouch defense effectively. However, if you are defending with your racket down, it can be very hard to effectively return a smash which is flat and at your body, since you are expecting there to be an angle. A position where it's great to adopt the crouch defense is after you do a flick serve. You can see this here by Kevin Sukamolio. He does a flick serve, and instead of moving backwards and trying to defend hitting upwards, he crouches down to drive the shuttlecock back. The reason he stays near the front is because when you crouch down to defend, it's actually easier closer to the net because the shuttlecock will be higher as it has just came over the net. If you moved back, the shuttle would have more time to drop and therefore make it a lot harder to crouch down and drive it back. Also, if you do a good flick serve, it's very hard for your opponent to get a really good angle on his smash because they are leaning back and not behind the shuttlecock. This means if you try to defend in a normal position, it would make it hard since the shuttle would be coming at your body. By crouching down, Kevin Sukamolio can use the speed from the smash return to his advantage to drive the shuttlecock back, since the player who just hit the smash will be off balance and out of position. It's really effective at being aggressive and forcing pressure on your opponents. Another example of where the crouch defense works really well is when your opponent turns to play a backhand. As soon as your opponent plays a backhand, especially from the back, you can look to get your racket up and be ready for the crouch defense. This is because whenever your opponent is playing a backhand, their shot is likely going to be flat without much of an angle or a clear. Because they won't be able to get an amazing angle, you can use this to take it early and in front of you. This will give you more options and allow you to drive the shuttlecock back or even smash it if their backhand shot isn't very good. When you are playing, you want to look at the positions your opponents are in and what their options are. You want to notice how good your opponent's smash is. If they like to do a lot of flat smashes, you can use the crouch defense more effectively in the game. If they are getting a lot of angle, it might be best not to do it as much, or you can move closer to the net to take it earlier when the shuttle is higher. This brings me on to the next example, and it's when your opponents are off balance at the back and hitting the shuttlecock. Let's say you played a good shot and your opponent is at the back but reaching for it behind them, or to one of the corners. It's really hard for them to perform a really good smash with a steep angle in these positions. Instead, they will likely play a flat drive or a shot without a lot of power. This is where you want to take advantage of this and use the crouch defense. Here you can see Sowi Yik from Malaysia do this in this rally. He pushes the shuttlecock over Ardianto's head onto the forehand side. He knows that Alfian will have to run back to cover this and play a shot in the forehand corner where he is not in position to play an effective smash. Sowi Yik can then crouch down to get the straight shot back and block it to the net, which therefore gets him and his partner onto the attack. This works great too when your opponents are out of position and are trying to get around the shot for their forehand in the deep backhand corner as well. It's all about knowing when it's the right opportunity to use the crouch defense and when it's not. If you try it when your opponent is smashing a steep smash from the middle of the court, it's almost impossible to return using this method, since the shuttlecock will be by your knees or feet. However, if it's used correctly in the scenarios mentioned before, it can be really effective at counter-attacking your opponents. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like the video to see more badminton content. Have a great day.